You want me to put that on my Tudor?
This One's Wife is a bulimia story on its way. It is well documented that Diana, Princess of Wales, battled with bulimia. A few years ago, Vogue explained that in the third episode of season 4 of The Crown, there was a trigger warning about the eating disorder. The scenes turned out to focus on Emma Corrin's Diana, Princess of Wales at the time, and she was suffering from feelings of deep loneliness upon joining the royal family. Her husband-to-be was having an affair with Camilla Parker Bowles, and she's all alone at Buckingham Palace, and the media is watching her every move. The scenes show her engaging in the purging in its entirety. In one instance, the camera fixates on the actress's heaving, exhausted body draped across the toilet bowl, rather than leaving it to the imagination of the viewers to deduce what is going on. Now, whilst The Crown's known for sensationalising real-life events, the depiction of Diana, Princess of Wales' bulimia was very much rooted in reality. Back in 1992, Andrew Morton published his biography on the Princess of Wales, and it included explosive details about Diana's eating disorder, which was something which was long rumoured in the press, but was never covered that extensively. The source for this information was actually Diana herself, who through an intermediary passed the author confessional tapes. She explained, "The bulimia started the week after we got engaged and would take nearly a decade to overcome. My husband put his hand on my waistline and said, 'Oh, a bit chubby here, aren't we?' And that triggered something in me, and the Camilla thing." Elizabeth Emanuel, the designer of Diana's wedding gown, later revealed in interviews that when they started the dress fittings, Diana's waist measured 26 to 27 inches. By July 1981, it was down to 23 inches. Reports at the time also suggested that Diana's deep unhappiness with her relationship served as her major trigger. Bulimia nervosa, the eating disorder Diana developed within a year of becoming Princess of Wales, was not, as Charles's friends suggested, an illness which made marriage go sour. It was an illness caused by a sour marriage, wrote Anthony Holden in a 1993 issue of Vanity Fair. Come 1995, Diana didn't need an intermediary to fight her battles. In an interview with the BBC interviewer Martin Bashir, he asked her about it point blank. "It was subsequently reported," he said, "that you suffered from bulimia. Is that true?" "Yes, I did," she replied. "I had bulimia for a number of years, and that's like a secret disease. You inflict it upon yourself because your self-esteem is at a low ebb, and you don't think you're worthy or valuable. You fill your stomach up 4 or 5 times a day, some do it more, and it gives you a feeling of comfort. It's like having a pair of arms around you, but it's temporary. Then you're disgusted at the bloatedness of your stomach, and then you bring it all up again." When asked if she had told anybody in the royal family about it, Diana said she had not. "You have to know that when you have bulimia, you're very ashamed of yourself, and you hate yourself, and people think you're wasting food, so you don't discuss it with people," she explained. "The thing about bulimia is your weight always stays the same, whereas with anorexia you visibly shrink, so you can pretend the whole way through there's no proof." Her raw, candid confession sent shockwaves through the world at the time. Eating disorders were rarely talked about openly, and to have a global superstar do so on such a stage challenged a major societal stigma. For Princess Diana to speak openly about these behaviours and thoughts really shows her strength and her dedication to helping others, because it is likely that most people would never have known she was fighting an eating disorder, so said Dr. Kendra Becker, clinical psychologist at Massachusetts General Hospital's Eating Disorder Clinical and Research Program. Her example not only destigmatizes eating disorders themselves, but also sets an example for seeking help and addressing the shame around these behaviours, thoughts and feelings that allow them to persist. Thus, a little bit of history about Diana, Princess of Wales' real-life battle with bulimia. So, how does this then fit with this one's wife? Well, as you can see, there is a photograph that has found its way into the thumbnail of this one's wife having a picture taken with a lady who I don't know who it is, and that's not entirely relevant. This material was produced by somebody called Resting Dollface on X and subsequently posted by Thriller Duchess on a thread on the subreddit Saint This One's Wife. They use her full name. I do not. And you can draw your own conclusions as to what you see in this photograph, but I'll share my observations with you. This one's wife looks pretty gaunt in this picture. She doesn't appear to have any notable bosom. Her clothes are hanging off her. Now, whilst it's not unusual for her clothes to not properly fit, again, they look too large for her here. But one of the things that particularly struck me was the sort of lollipop head appearance that can occur with somebody who has lost a lot of weight, that their head looks too large for their body. It's often seen in certain supermodels, and therefore it's clear upon an instant look at this photograph, and it isn't body shaming, it's simply an observation that she appears to have lost a considerable amount of weight, and not perhaps healthily so. What is behind all of that? Well, that's a matter of speculation. Some suggest that she's been utilising Ozempic for the purposes of losing that weight, and that has resulted in this particular appearance. It doesn't appear to have been undertaken as a consequence of exercise, as she doesn't look toned. Rather, it looks more like she's not really been eating a lot, and therefore has brought about weight loss in that fashion. It's meant as well that her veneers look rather large for her mouth and that her cheeks are standing out. And if you were to compare pictures of now to a few years ago, she doesn't look as healthy as she once did. Accordingly, what is very clear is that she has lost quite a bit of weight in a fairly short space of time. And it's not my suggestion that this is as a consequence of any kind of eating disorder. However, given the fact that this one's wife is 1, a narcissist, that 2, she goes through life acquiring character traits, 3, she regularly engages in the Diana duplication, it caused me to wonder, is there the possibility that she may well be teeing up a story about her having some kind of eating disorder? Remember, as a narcissist, she is the eternal victim. People have been racist towards me. People have been misogynistic towards me. People hate on me for no reason. I'm a person of colour and people have been nasty to me because of that. I wasn't from the royal family, so people were nasty to me in respect of that. My mental health was suffering and nobody provided me with any support. I was suicidal and nobody helped me. We repeatedly have these extensive pity plays doled out by this one's wife. And the narcissist utilises the pity play as a manipulation, subconsciously of course, in order to assert control over people so that they feel sorry for the narcissist, thus demonstrating that they are under control, and they provide fuel by way of their sympathetic response. It therefore, in accordance with this victim mentality, which has been borne out by the evidence, is not too great a stretch of the imagination to wonder, is the next thing that she's going to seek sympathy about an eating disorder? That she, obviously, with the way that her narcissism causes her to copy Diana, Princess of Wales, has opted for another facet of that lady's life to be bolted onto her own. As I've explained in the first part of this video, Diana had bulimia, and therefore is it the case that this one's wife's narcissism looks upon that and thinks, great, we'll acquire that as a character trait and utilise it for our narcissist as a means then of getting to the prime aims. It's entirely possible. And I note in observations on the particular thread that I'm not the only one whose mind went there. Other commentators queried whether this might be something that she would do. Naturally, it's speculation, but it's informed speculation because, first of all, we have clear weight loss. Furthermore, she likes to receive sympathy from people because it accords with the prime aims, and she always believes that she is the victim. And therefore, it's entirely possible that her narcissism would select the creation of a story about bulimia being the reason that she looks so thin. It's likely that the reason that she looks so thin is down to something else. It might simply be that she has put herself on a different diet. It might be that she's utilizing some kind of supplement to curb her appetite. As I mentioned earlier, the weight loss doesn't appear to be as a consequence of exercise and appears to be as a consequence of reducing her calorific intake. It is not the case, as far as one can tell, that there's as a result of any kind of eating disorder. But that wouldn't stop a narcissist from claiming that it was. It's entirely conceivable that a narcissist would eat less in order to look good, or at least look good in their mind, and then utilize that rapid weight loss as an explanation, or rather to be explained by an eating disorder in order to copy somebody else, i.e. Diana, and control people and draw fuel from them by way of their response. Remember, the narcissist must be the center of attention. Some narcissists do this by being brilliant at sport, making fantastic speeches, creating magnificent art, entertaining you with jokes, providing a brilliant acting experience. But that's for the truly talented narcissists. Most narcissists aren't, and what they have to rely upon is telling lies, boasting, upsetting other people, creating drama and chaos, and ultimately engaging in behaviors to try and make people feel sorry for them, bleating about being picked on, crying about being hated, playing the race card, being the victim, and, perhaps in this instance, claiming that they suffer from some kind of eating disorder in order to explain the gaunt appearance that we see here in this picture. We shall see in the future whether she goes down this route, but it wouldn't be a surprise if she did, as a consequence of her narcissism taking that character trait from Diana, someone who we know she emulates regularly, and the fact that she would be seeking huge amounts of sympathy as a consequence of such a disclosure. Do you think I'm right? Do you think that this is likely to happen? Or do you think she'll spin it out as something else, or not utilize the weight loss at all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.